worst thing you can do to a good thing is make it mundane. A quote that I came up with back in the day, yet I have the feeling that I'm not the first one to say that. Yet, once more I have to use it to describe gameplay in Elite Dangerous. So today's story, as most other ones, come from my personal experience after trying to actually play the game. This time, it was me looking up some things that I could unlock. I thought, okay, so I could unlock those shock cannons from tech brokers. So I need a bunch of materials. Well, off to Elite Database I go to look up a place to get them. Once I found the planet with the highest concentration of the stuff I needed, I began my journey to suck off oranges. Have a magical time. Remember, an average casual player won't look up the third-party tools, so their time and experience will be not quite as rapidly advancing as mine would. So after about 3 hours of driving on a planet's surface, while I did find most of the materials I needed, but I wasn't looking for them. The main material that I was, which was technetium, I managed to gather only halfway. For 3 hours, just driving about on a planet to unlock a weapon. One weapon of many other items. Now, if this is not a grind, then I must have my brain sucked out of my ass, cause this sure as fuck feels like it. But the worst thing was only ahead of me. Only after I stopped to think about what planetary landings are, the grave reality settled in. Even to this day, I do regard the whole planetary landing feature to be one of the game's most impressive technical feature. And quite an immersive thing too, you know? Yet, much like any other features and gameplay loops in the game, it's immediately overshadowed by the massive amount of tedious, boring, insipid, disgusting, brain-dead, idiotic, pathetic, lazy, and unimaginative tasks being thrown at you with such repetition. Any sense of joy you may have is obliterated. Let me explain. In Elite Dangerous, tech brokers, engineers, and all those little features have been created in tandem with planetary landings to give people something to do on them. Otherwise, really, what's the point of a planetary landing aside from just driving about on it, right? See, I'm not complaining about that. What I am complaining about here is the fact that for the fear of player retention and so-called lack of things to do, developers have chosen to inflate the need to do anything on these planets so far that it actually becomes the source of this frustration, especially when you realize that if you want all the weapons from tech brokers, oh, you're gonna have to drive for days on different planets. And I mean, literally, days. This player eventually will be faced with a massive need to repeat it so much, all the interest will be gone and boredom will settle in. The thing the player liked before now becomes mundane. That now, after 3 fucking hours of driving on the planet's surface to unlock a single fucking weapon, and not being able to even do that, will create apathy or even worse, hatred towards anything related to it. See, most of us don't play the game just to half unlock something. We want to, of course, unlock the thing immediately before going for another task. We want to complete something, and we only stop if there is some sort of constraint. And in this case, that would be a combination of time and repetitiveness, aka grind. Is this really how you want the game to be viewed as bunch of fun things as an idea, but disgustingly horrid experiences as a result? This goes with everything. Money, materials, engineers, missions, etc. All these things could be interesting to do or gather, yet the end requirement and the reward is so segmented, or even segments of it are taking up so much time that in normal players' time it takes days to do anything. I love the technical side of planets and how they are built and generated, how they come together, sometimes in amazing ways. Yet all that quickly gets overshadowed by the simple reminder that the only real reason you'd return to them is to partake in this boring gameplay that feels like rubbing your dick against the sandpaper. With this intensive push for players to spend so much time on one thing, you're eventually going against the main task of game designing, giving players things to do and making sure they don't overdo one type of gameplay. Sorry, but you've achieved exactly that. Instead of making an organic gameplay experience that would guide the player to experience different interesting things in their playing time, you, yes you, developer 375, made something that forces player to repeat every gameplay loop to a point of breaking it entirely. Also, due to such extensive use of RNGs, you cannot properly predict and craft engaging gameplay. Bravo! Just like a hack writer, you've written yourself into a corner. So there you have it. Do let me know what you think of this little tirade. Do you find the tasks you do in the game for your daily gameplay for some kind of goal to be bringing down your enjoyment of it? Or perhaps you're one of those folks that snarkily say, it's a grind if you make it? In which case I'd like to smear shit all over your face. But that's another story. Anyways, do let me know what you think.